Under the neon moon, Big Al's on the prowl. His mic is hot and his laughs are proud. From cigars to Memphis blues, he's got it all. Wrestling tales and smoky tunes, hear the city call. Howlin' with Big Al, the wolf runs the night. Cigars in the air, wrestling rings in sight. Howlin' with Big Al, where the stories ignite. Turn the dial, feel the fight. The river hums low.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Howlin' with Big Al, the podcast where we talk cigars, focusing on the conversations and the stories you may have in your local lounge. Today's guest lives at the intersection of physical strength and spiritual discipline. They've built a powerful platform by showing that fitness isn't just about muscles. It's about mindset, purpose, and alignment. Whether you're lifting weights, lifting prayers, or just trying to lift yourself out of a rut, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Let's welcome CJ Cole to the podcast.
What's going on?
There
What's
we go.
going
What's
on?
going on, CJ?
Can you hear me good? What's
You
up?
doing
What's
all right
up?
tonight?
Yes, I'm
Yeah, I
good.
got
First,
you. You coming
listen,
in loud and clear.
first, I must say thank you for that intro, man. I'm smiling ear to ear, and I would never imagine,
That's
not you say
good.
that, and I would never imagine. I thank you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've got a good friend who had me on his podcast, and I felt the same way. So,
Yeah.
but so CJ, for people who may not know you yet,
hmm
who are you, and what's your mission?
Well, my name is CJ Cole, and I am first a God follower. Uh, I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a brother. I'm a cousin. I'm a trainer. I wear many hats, man. My mission, I would say, is to um, first be able to show people or lead people to Christ, um, whether that be through fitness, whether that be through um, a conversation, whether that be through an experience. That's something that I really want to be able to kind of give people the okay that it's all right to follow Christ in any situation that you're in. It's all right to lean and depend on Him also, um, and remembering to do it throughout the good times also. And just kind of just having them more stayed on your mind, because I will say I have had some times in the rut to where that's who I could only really reach in and lean in and call on. And that's kind of really why I'm here, I feel like. So I just want to let everybody know, that, to follow God is cool. You know what I mean? It's real cool.
Yeah.
And you still can have your way and, still have fun in the midst, and, showing people through other ways to just, no matter what, keep your feet moving through any circumstance. Heal to a true stepper as long as you keep your feet moving. Yeah, it's my mission.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
So, what came first? Was it fitness or was it spirituality that kind of changed your life, or did they grow together?
Okay. So we can break that down. And I would say, growing up, I always I grew up in a church, a Kojic church, and my parents they drug me to church every Sunday. I did not have an option. I had other times where I was actually a part of what I'm about to be a part of within my church now, set up and breakdown. So
Hmm.
we helped one of relatives of mine start his church in the living room of my house that I grew up in. So I mean, Christ
Nice.
was always has always been, I say, my upbringing, definitely. But would it been something that I've always leaned on, or have I rebelled against or backslid? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely,
Sure.
I have. And I just, I just want to, just like I mentioned, to let people know that it's all right just to make a mistake, and move forward because God, we are human. We're human form, so we're born into sin, so most times just with that alone, we can't beat ourselves up with so much. Now, continuing to make the same mistakes, then, yeah. But, making a mistake and moving forward, like, no, that's nothing, man. Like we can get past that, you know.
Right. Right. Well, and I think a lot of times too, as men, we take so much on and feel like we can't have feelings, and we try to push it down.
Hmm.
But as part of our self-care, which can be fitness related, it can be spiritually related, but just having a conversation with somebody else, it's okay to not be okay, and to have to work through things, and find people um, around you to help you with that.
Right.
So,
Right, and to get back
um,
to your question, I did kind of move around a little bit, but back to the fitness portion of it, I also grew up playing sports. I grew up playing football, Pee Wee League football, all the way up until middle school. Middle school, that's when I was introduced to baseball from seventh to eighth grade. Ninth grade, that's when I made a change or a move from Memphis to DeSoto County, South Haven, and man, the competition level was from sky high. I feel like in the jump was, you talking, I would say maybe high school D1, maybe a jump something like that, and I just couldn't keep up with the baseball, so we continue with football and continuing to learn strength conditioning. Uh, Never really took cardio as serious as I do right now, and continuing to play sports, football, and from there, believe it or not, I um, went to the University of Mississippi, and I didn't have. Within my first 2 weeks, my financial aid, I had an issue with my financial aid, and I was working in a local gym out there, and I was working with one of my coworkers, and she was actually a cheerleader at Ole Miss, and she was
mhm.
telling me, she was saying, "Man, we actually need some male cheerleaders, and if you make the team, then you'll be offered a scholarship." So I was like, me thinking my financial aid didn't come through yet. And I'm like, man, I need some money. So,
Right, right,
uh, man, I asked her how do I sign up? She was like, just come to the Tad Pad. It was called the Tad Pad at the time.
right. Yep.
That's the basketball gym. And she was like, come to
Right.
the pad, and we got practice this day and this time. Show up, and we'll try you out. So went to the gym that day that practice, and I watched a guy, which they call it was a toss hands. So basically,
Hmm.
it's when you grab the female cheerleader at the waistline and you squat down. She squat first. You squat right behind her, and you throw her up, and you drop your hands into it. That's called a toss hands. So
Yeah.
uh, they wanted me to do that, and I saw the guy do it 5 times, and man, this story always give me chills. I promise. Listen, this
Sure,
story
sure.
always give me chills because, like, this is also a time and a point to where I knew this God was still, with me, and He was just trying to just bring me
Right.
back. Like I say, I'm at Ole Miss. You know what I mean? We partying,
Yeah.
drinking, doing a lot of stuff. Like honest. And yeah, so uh, it was my opportunity and my chance to get up there, throw the girl up, and man, I watched the guy do it 5 times, threw the girl up, and she fell into my hands perfectly, perfectly. And
Right.
just that moment, the coach said, "You on the team." So
Nice. Yeah.
knocked out the financial aid situation and everything, and then back to that was bringing back it to God is like, man, He had to make that happen. You know what I mean? Because like I've seen so many other
Sure.
guys, even newer guys, that were maybe first years on the team, and they were still having issues because it was like a varsity side and also a junior varsity side, excuse me.
Gotcha.
And yeah, like they were having issues also. And not to say that I did not have any issues. Yeah, I still had issues
Right.
learning
Right.
throughout the path. But, just the first time, and I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 more times, it was just stuck every time. Stuck every time. You know what I mean? So there right there was like, it's alignment. All right, man, follow this path. You got a situation with your financial aid. We'll work it out. Just continue to just move forward, keep your feet moving, move forward. So that was my situation, continuing exercise and fitness and finding God, but still having, situations also along the way. And, continuing now, getting into fast forward, now having a wife, kids, and family, just life, career, side job, side hustle, small
Yeah.
business. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on, and I found long distance running to kind of help level things out. So that's when I introduced myself to a marathon training. So I was talking to
Mhm.
one of my buddies that was also on the Ole Miss cheer team, Kobe May. Shout out to him. He lives in North Carolina, and he's a marathoner, ultra marathoner now, and he's always been in tip top shape. He's always been a Christ follower, and I met him in college, so I, I kept communication with him throughout the years, in which I like to do with people that really really mean something to me. If I don't do nothing but
Right.
drop just
Right.
one message to you, I want to say something and just check on you. So I knew that was his lane. I knew the ultra distance and running and weightlifting and strength and conditioning was his lane, and strength and conditioning was still mine at the moment. But never in my head could I imagine running a marathon or even training to run more than 40 yards. Truly, because I don't
Right.
cardio was never my thing to do. But there's this thing called endorphins, right? They call it a runner's high.
Yep.
But my first experience with that was I felt like, and I can take you to the exact place, the exact street, but I really felt like God sent an angel because I was maybe like on the mile 5 and it was heavy for me. And it just,
Hmm.
took the back of my back, like the lats of my back, and just carried me through like the rest of the mile. Just carried my body. My legs felt effortless, you know what I mean? And I had my jams on and
Right.
I listened to some really good Christian music, you know what I mean? And I was like, nah, this ain't nothing but God. And since then I was, been chasing the high since, man. I'm just being honest. Been chasing it since. So I would say it's all kind
Gotcha.
of been, trying to bring it all in and together. I know it was a very long answer. I apologize if I took
No,
too much.
no, no, no. Not at all. Not at all. But
Yeah.
baseball players, they train for 90 feet at a time,
Uh-huh.
just base to base.
Right, right.
So All right. Let's see. So, what was the moment that made you realize you were meant to share this journey publicly?
Uh, I would say when I've been having prior issues, I would say in my marriage, truthfully, and I've had to seek counsel. My wife and I,
Hmm.
and we've been meeting weekly. We took a little time off, but we had met maybe, man, I would say maybe a good 2 months every week.
Hmm.
So we had more upwards of maybe 10 sessions, and once I we also went to the Compel marriage conference. We went to the marriage conference
Okay.
also, and that is when I felt like I wanted to, bring it out more publicly, because I feel like that it's I shouldn't be ashamed of who I serve, and I really
Right.
should be able, because that's what I feel like our job is. God want to be able to, you know, give us or give others a welcome to Him and His grace and His glory. So I didn't want to be ashamed of it no more. Whenever I just, felt like He was doing so much within my marriage and bringing us all back together, and, I felt like that's number one. We have to be aligned and centered within the marriage. Even my parents told me that, and I see it. I saw it within their marriage also. Marriage is nothing without God in the center. And that's what I felt like we were lacking in my marriage, and me not being that leader to one have us um, gather all every Sunday, no matter what, or at least attempt to, or have that tide talk about us sacrificing and giving our first earnings uh to the sanctuary, to God, and just having that teaching, having a backbone also. And that's what I was doing, or that's what I was lacking as a husband. So, and I, once I figured that I would go ahead and, try to line it up and do the best that I can, why not? Why not go public with it,
Right.
so that I can have accountability also? If you see me slipping, hey, hey man, that's, it's not to say that it's going to be a judge or situation, but sometimes we need a
Right.
reality. So, yeah, that's why.
Most definitely, and something that we talk about on my other podcast is definitely the brotherhood of within the cigar community. Um, but and that to me or for me, a cigar does the same thing to you, or that a long run does for you.
Hmm.
It kind of recenters you, brings you back to what's most important and what's the focus, and can get you lined back up.
Yep.
So, all right, well, those were just some warm up questions, a good stretch and
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get you going.
Yes.
So this next set of questions is going to kind of focus on fitness as a foundation.
Uh-huh.
So, um, how do you define true fitness beyond the physical?
Okay. Define true fitness beyond the physical. I would say muscular endurance. Definitely muscular endurance, and that's to be able to endure for a long time, in which I feel like our body was designed and made to do. Also heal itself, and to be able to lift and move things the most proper way, uh, functional way also. So that's fitness without the physical. I mean, or even without the physique, I would say.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you do some physical training and some coaching. So,
Yeah.
what's the biggest mistake that people make when they start their fitness journey?
I would say just biting off way too much. Way too much. It's kind of like me and my 10-year-old, my 10-month-old. I apologize, but no, she's
Hmm.
11 months old now. The 11 months, she
I got
she take a piece of, whether it be a piece of bread, a big a piece of fruit, and she take a big chunk. You know what I mean? And then sometimes we can't we our eyes get too big to what we really can handle. And I see people go out and go and spend, hey, I'm gonna go a full 30 days this whole January. Or we're not talking any rest and recovery days, we're not talking any mobility days, we're not talking about just days that we're just gonna go outside and walk and maybe get some yoga in the front yard, in the backyard, just to collect some natural vitamin D. So those are some
right.
things I see people just trying to junk off way too much, way too soon. And if you already been out of the gym for a very, very long time, no need to try to just push it back on you like you really, really been just in the gym shooting. Like, no, you got to slow down a little bit. So, yeah, anywhere 2 to 3 times a week, brand new, just getting back in the gym 2 to 3 times a week, strength train, uh, 90 minutes. I feel like you'll be pretty good. You get you about a good 8 to 10,000 steps in per day, 8 to 10, 8 to 12,000, somewhere around that, or 3 10 to 15 minute brisk walks on a job or on a break or something like that. Absolutely, just to get moving more, and your body will thank you, appreciate it. Your body's always yielding to be at a healthy state. So yeah, it's just taking too much, man.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
I got you. Well, I think as men, we do that a lot, whether it be with fitness, with work, with just a weekend. You know what I mean? We just
Hmm.
plan too much and try to cram too much in.
Yeah.
But well, how do you stay disciplined on the days when motivation is gone?
I would say, man, I just got to, God is good. I've now accumulated, just being more public. I've accumulated more people to, I would say, how can I say, hold me accountable in a way. It's people that started and changed their lives based on me, and that's a pretty big weight to carry, I feel sometimes, because it's like, if I stop, then what about you? What if you really
Right,
going
right,
truly just because of how I started, how I got things rolling, and just posting and showing you my journey throughout the process. You've been watching me for X amount of years, and you've seen month in, month out, nonstop. We posting fitness, we posting runs, we're posting exercises, and it's not stopped. And within a year, you be like, man, let me go ahead and jump on. You finally jump on. We continuing to go together. If I stop, where's your
right,
motivation go? So yeah, I
right.
can't stop us for my other people, for the people that's really depending and
Gotcha.
trusting and moving with me. They keep me going.
Nice, nice.
Yep.
So, do you see training as a form of self care? The same way, maybe, oh, meditation, or just a way to help clear the mental.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. And the reason why is because it's it's euphoric. It's a breath of fresh air. Just as you mentioned, even with yoga, that's basically what you're doing. You're breathing. You're working how to breathe. I feel like that's what yoga is to me, and being able to also keep your body in a position while breathing. And that's going to be pretty much the same thing you're doing in exercise also. I tell my clients all the time, we even also have small conversations throughout their breaks so that we can learn how to control our breathing, learn how to breathe through situations. Once we do that, then we will understand how to also move throughout life. Most times, all we have to do is learn how to breathe, but we don't always get peaceful situations just lay back on the couch when it's time to
Right.
breathe. You see what I mean? Sometimes we in a
Yeah.
heated moment and we just have to learn how to stay in the heat, but know how to breathe. And
That's
that's
right.
exercise.
Right.
Hmm.
Nice. Good deal, man. This is some good stuff coming out. Thank you for coming on, CJ.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
I feel like there's people that need to hear this, and hopefully they get as inspired you by you as I do.
Right.
Because we've had conversations in the past, and uh, I hope you get as much from those conversations as I do. So,
I do.
but we're gonna shift gears a little bit and look a little bit more to the spirituality part, the inner work.
Hmm.
Um, um, what role does faith, prayer, or meditation play in your daily routine?
In my daily routine, faith, prayer, meditation, that's going to be first thing when I wake up. That's something that I'm working on right now. I would say
Mhm.
to not get on my phone and look up or scroll any social media. The first thing I do is pull my Bible app out. And that's something that I'm personally working on myself. Throughout my family, we do, me and my boys, we do a morning devotional every morning before they go to school. And that's something that we created. My wife definitely started that. I give her the props to that. Um, we started that so that they can be a little bit more at ease uh, leaving, because we are strong believers that, whenever you first wake up and the kind of energy that you set and you start, that's the kind that'll continue to flow. So yeah, we human. Yeah, we kind of get a little rowdy in the morning times, getting them up, and if they not moving like we need them
Yeah,
to, but before we leave or before we set them go, we try to have a sit down and we come to God and we have a nice devotional. So yeah, that's during my day, and throughout the day I'm working too to just have more of what they say. He just want to sup with you, just have on your mind. So I just want to
hmm
have. I've now been having time where I'm just kind of having little small conversations, and it's not always and all day. Like my
yeah.
mom. Now, my mom, she is that's God's best friend. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you. I got
that's
you.
mama. But me, I'm working on
Right.
just having more small conversations with them and be more honest and just open, just how we having a conversation right now. When I was younger, I felt like you had to be more formal to come to God and, in a prayer every time. But most times, man, he just want to, let him know, he want for us to, allow him to know that we really trust and believe and giving our faith all to him and know that he is really seeing us through all our situations. So yeah.
Most definitely. Most
Hmm.
definitely. Well, how has your spiritual growth changed the way you train or coach others?
uh I've now passed this one to Mr. Jerry. Mr. Jerry was my boxing coach, and he's a professional boxer here in Memphis, Tennessee. And well, I say he's from Memphis, Tennessee. He stays in South Haven now, and he's a trainer also, and that's something that I really saw really stuck out within him. And he was also a mentor of mine. And he mentioned to me too that throughout this journey of you, helping other people and training other people, always give God back the glory. All the glory belongs to Him. All the props, everything that's making everything possible, it belongs to Him. And that's something that I try to have incorporated throughout my training. And, we have talks about, not so much your faith or your spirituality or anything of that sort, but I may have a situation, or I may say, when they're going through, trust God, trust, you got this next set, you got this next rep, trust, and we can all kind of get a little extra inspiration from maybe just to have a statement like that. So I don't mind, putting it in my training also.
Right. Well, and two, I know something that I see when people start their fitness journey is they expect to see um, microwave results, and
Hmm.
those don't always come. So they get discouraged, and it's we got to be like a crock pot, that slow, continuous, like you said, keep stepping, just keep moving. Doesn't
That's
matter
it.
how fast you're moving, just keep moving.
Hmm.
So so and that kind of leads me into kind of the next part. uh and these questions kind of deal with mindset, because I think your mindset affects every other aspect of the things you do in a day. um how do you help people push through mental barriers, not just physical ones? And I know that we just talked about, trust, but trust the process. But is there another way that you kind of, through encouragement, or you know,
To be able to
I've
get through
seen a
mental.
lot of
Go
I've
ahead. I'm
seen a
sorry.
lot of coaches. No, that's all right. I've seen a lot of coaches, sports coaches, that use intimidation and fear, and you know what I mean, through coaching. But um, how would you help someone through those mental barriers, not just the physical ones?
Hmm. So first, I would first just identify a problem, and if I really see that it is a mental barrier, I then maybe like share an experience from me, my situations or my past, and allow them to see that, yeah, it's possible. You can get through even mental situations also. And I would definitely say I'm big on, just as I mentioned, I wouldn't say big, but I'm getting to now trust the process of seeking counsel and allowing people to know that it's okay to seek counsel, individually or marriage or whatever. My kids had to seek counsel before,
Sure.
I don't mind putting out there, if I don't have the answer, somebody else does, or let's maybe take this route. So yeah, I don't mind being public about that neither. As far as
Right.
because most times it's just being able to know how to communicate, and most times it's not being able to know how to express how you feeling at
Mhm.
that present moment. That's whenever we have the mental, you know, barriers. So yeah. Seeking counsel, man,
Good.
and God in the process.
Gotcha. Well, what kind of messages um, do you refuse to promote, even if it would bring you, more views on your social media?
Hmm. What kind of messages that I feel like I would refuse? I would refuse.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a the the uh the quick fix, the body that, like you kind of mentioned, the microwave results, or I would say the surgery whenever you really do not absolutely need it, or I would say medically. Now, strictly cosmetic, just because you don't want to kind of get in and sweat and not have just the instant gratification and can't really wait on the delayed gratification. I mean, I can't rock with it. I can't support that. So that's something
Gotcha.
that I probably would truly say I don't I wouldn't do that over just hard work. Now if it's something dealing with your medical health and you absolutely have to undergo that surgery, then that is fine. But now in 2026, man, we getting out of hand. And through fitness,
Right.
I want this to be a real thing, real genuine thing, and we all getting out here and we hustling and we I could tell my clients, like, let's talk about it, or not even just my clients, even people that I just know that's really working on
Right.
a situation, man. Let's talk about this in 6 months. Let's talk about this in a year from now. You know what I mean? Like, let's now add
Yeah.
years. And if you can't sit back and wait on it, and you just gotta have it next week, nah, man, I can't promote that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, if someone listening feels lost or broken right now, what would you tell them?
Uh, First, I would say get into your word. That's number one. Start a Bible plan. Put in. It's crazy. My mom always tell me anything that you're going through, like even if you don't know the Bible, Google. Google.
Hmm.
I'm having stress, anxiety issues. I need a Bible plan. You know, hey, let's start there. Start now seeking on your own. I'm not going to push you to a particular church, or I'm not going to say, you know, go in and do X, Y, and Z. Start to seek God on your own. Sup with Him, build a relationship with Him. That's number one. And from there, start to work on yourself. Start to work on yourself. Start on the inside, spiritually, and from there, external. If you have any kind of any time, extra time, or you can make time, go out for a nice breeze walk. Use your time wisely. Wake up early. Take care. Lay your clothes out. Take care of your business first, so that you can set out the time, so that you can set aside for yourself, for your physical health. That's number one, because most times we're not breathing enough out here, and that's what you get in. That's what you get in physical health. So yeah, seek God, and man, man, have a routine. Have a routine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And again, especially for men out there, don't be afraid to talk about it, especially if you're feeling lost or broken.
Yeah.
Um, because there's somebody that's willing to listen. You know, we're we as men were always taught nobody cares. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep going. Just push it down. We're all going through it. It doesn't matter. Just nobody cares.
Right.
Well, that's not true. I care. CJ cares. And you know what? The days of you having to be a macho man and nothing's ever wrong and men can't cry,
Mm-hmm.
that's baloney. You know,
It's
because we have to feel all the feelings. We have to be able to be able to enjoy life or enjoy the things we have in our life. We have to know what those bad things are.
mm-hmm.
And something that I've kind of adopted is when something bad comes through, I have to ask myself, what am I supposed to learn from this? You know, am I being groomed to help somebody else through this? um, is is this thing that I look at as a negative, or the absence of this thing, say a job promotion, or um, being able to buy a new car and the financing doesn't come through. What
Mhm.
am I being saved from? What am I? Why is this happening for me rather than why is this happening to me? And so, I just, personally, I think if we kind of, again, like you said, learn to breathe through the fire, and because what's what Kanye's mom said, it can't rain all the time.
Right, right.
So, you know, so the next question I got down here is, what do you want people to feel when they come across your content?
I want them to feel just raw, real, and relatable content. I want them to understand that I'm not the strongest, I'm not the fastest. Uh, I'm just like them in a way. Uh, I'm a, I strive to be a family man. Uh, it's okay uh, to, man, just get out here and just understand we only have one life to live, and
Yeah,
they just people just seeing just one life unapologetically in a way. So
right.
yeah, man, I want to see also you see some nice, man, maybe some funny content here and there. My me and my wife like to joke around a lot and play around. uh
Hmm.
like to see, I talk also just about my kids quite a bit, so just a little bit of everything, honestly, just some lifestyle, just all around raw, real, and relatable content. I'm working on a public speaking challenge right now. I'm dropping a video a day, talking into the camera for a minimum of 60 seconds. And I'm trying to eliminate filler words. It's something that I've been having issues with for a very long time, using and know what I mean and stuff. But sometimes they say we just need to again breathe and pause, and it's
Yes,
hard to kind of work around it. So just, self development, they'll see on there also what I'm trying to work to just get better at outside of fitness. Fitness is my life, of course, but I want to show people a little bit more that, I got other things that I'm working on also, other projects, and continuing to try to just better myself.
I got you. Well, I'll tell you what I see, or what I feel when I see your content. I feel hope, and in the world we live in, hope is sometimes hard to come by. So when when I see you out there pushing through a middle of a run and it starts raining and you just keep going, it's or it's hot, you
Hmm.
just keep going, and you know what I mean. It's just,
Hmm.
there's a hope that maybe one day I can get to a similar space or a similar situation.
Hmm.
um I I've tried to grow out of comparing myself to other people,
Hmm.
and because keeping up with the Joneses doesn't work. So I just want to be better than I was yesterday.
That's it.
Like,
That's it. I like
that
that.
always
One,
goes
one
back to
day at a
what you.
time. Yes.
Yes, yes, because God's not through with me yet.
Yeah.
If He was, I wouldn't be here anymore.
Right,
So
right, right. That's mindset right there. I like that. Thank you for that. I
yeah,
like that. Thank you
absolutely,
for that, man.
absolutely. So what's next for you, physically, spiritually, or professionally? I mean, is there a certain marathon that you're training for in particular, or is there something that you're just really headstrong working for?
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy you mentioned that. My wife and I, we're working to be better swimmers also, and
Okay.
I want to say that last year I wanted to try out for a not try out, but actually compete in a sprint triathlon. And of course, that's going to involve
Okay.
swim, bike, and run. And
Right.
I was about to sign up for the Memphis in May last year, and I started just to train in the pool, and I realized I didn't have enough time to, be confident enough to finish that swim. So I just decided
Sure.
not to. So that'll be maybe something this year, with the help of my
Gotcha.
wife, and we kind of get together on the weekends and have more time in the pool. That'll be something big for me for uh for 2026, definitely. I still plan to run the St. Jude Marathon in
Mhm.
December every year until uh otherwise I say, but that's something that'll be a
Then you
race that
can't.
I don't.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that'll be a race that I definitely would not mind to suffer, no matter how much I train for it or not train for it. So, yep,
Well,
that's not gonna be new, but yeah, this triathlon definitely will probably be.
I got you. I got you. Well,
Yeah.
where can the people find you?
Okay, yeah. So you can find me on all platforms, I would say, or I just say Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. No Heel Steppers. NOHILLSTEPPERS. No Heel Steppers. That's gonna be all platforms. No Heel
Nice. Nice.
Steppers. Yep.
Good deal. Well,
Uh-huh.
if you could leave the people with one challenge for the week, what would it be?
One challenge for the week. I would say, how about simple 25 burpees, 20 20 minutes in your Bible app, in scripture, whatever you want, 20-minute devotional. All right. Now you can do this throughout any portion of the day. We don't gotta say it gotta be first thing in the morning. 20-minute devotional, 20 burpees, and we'll say 20-minute phone call with a relative or a friend just to check on them. Somebody that you have somebody you've not contacted in a long time. Yep.
Wow.
Call and check in on them.
That's you know what? That kind of runs the gambit of stuff. So let's see. Today is Monday. So I'm gonna check in with you next Monday
Yep.
and see if I met the challenge.
Yep.
And I tell you, the burpees. Well, I don't know. Maybe the 20-minute phone call might be
You
the
can break them up. You can
the
break them
hardest.
up. You can break them up. Cause look at it like this. Look at it like this. Like we just mentioned, if you haven't done a burpee, and when was the last time you done a burpee? Let's be honest.
10 years ago, anyway, when I
Okay,
learned what a
okay.
burpee
So guess what?
was.
But listen, but guess what? If you only do 5 tomorrow, we'll add that. You do another 5 the next day, we'll add that too. You just make your
Gotcha.
20 and check in the next Monday. You see what I mean? So why didn't set a
I
number
gotcha.
200? You know what I mean? 100. Like,
Yeah,
no, man, just give me 20. 20.
yeah, yeah. You got it. Well, I'm gonna count on you to hold me accountable for that.
Definitely, man. Definitely will do.
So I'm gonna take the challenge.
And how about you, man? What about a challenge for me? Do you got anything for me?
Ah, man. Uh,
Give me something,
That's
will you? Give me something, Big Al. Give me
I,
something.
I I I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Ooh, um, and it's probably something that you're already doing, but um,
Good. We can add it to the list. It's all good, man.
um, well, I know you're already encouraging people every day. Um, man, I'm having a hard time. Uh, I'm gonna have to think hard about that.
That's fine. You got my number. You shoot me a text.
Yes, sir.
Really, do
Yes,
that. Do
sir.
that. Shoot me a text and let me know,
Yeah.
man. Let me know.
I may have to challenge you to sit down for 20 minutes.
Right? Right. Man, my wife, she hear you say that, man. She say that's a challenge on because she probably think I'd be unsuccessful at that, you know?
Well, just
Yeah.
knowing knowing your personality, I would imagine that it's hard to just sit,
Hmm.
um, because I kind of see you as a what do they call it, um, high energy. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
just um, some people would say hyper or whatever, but I don't like that because that almost has a demeaning character to it.
Uh-huh.
But I prefer high energy because it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Definitely not.
So so um well, CJ, I appreciate you sitting down with me, carving out a little time to sit and chop it up with me, share your story. Um, this will be available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube if you so wish.
Okay.
Um, so I always like so kind of in closing, this conversation wasn't just about fitness. This was about becoming whole. If this episode hit you, share it with somebody who needs it. You know, because we all need a little inspiration from time to time. So this is Howlin' with Big Al. I hope you win the battles you tell no one about and keep howling.